California dreaming. California dreaming about you. California dreaming about you.
Yo, what is good, ECF family? We are back again with another YouTube video, and today since we just did a dark horse team to make the 2021 College Football Playoff, let's look at the first ever team to be a dark horse to make the College Football Playoff, and that is 2015 Michigan State. 2015 Michigan State, you don't realize how crazy, how lucky their season was until you really in-depthly go back and look at it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go look back at 2015 Michigan State. We're going to revisit their historical season and just in general, this historical 3-year span. Before we jump into 2015, Mark D'Antoni really had that program at its peak. It is their best 3-year span in program history. Their program's been around since 1918. In 2013, they went 13-1 and won the Rose Bowl. In 2014, they went 11-2 and won the Cotton Bowl. Now, frick previous seasons. Let's talk about 2015. Their 2015 season started off with a win over Western Michigan University. 37-24. They're now the number 4 ranked team starting the year, right? So they're clearly in the college football discussion as of right now. Then they're headed to East Lansing, where they have their first top 10 matchup since 1966. A historic game, what some call the game of the century. They're playing number 7 Oregon. This game was interesting. It was a tight game all throughout. It was a back and forth battle. Oregon had a punt return for a touchdown. Just overall, Michigan State, Connor Cook ended up winning the game. This game's interesting. Roll the clip.
Give Freeman finds his way nicely into the end zone. Marshall is chased back into the end zone, and this time he'll bring it out. Marshall looking for a little crease. Now he breaks it back, and he's got room. He's got room and some help on the outside. Marshall. Adams instead taking a shot, getting his man out there, and it's intercepted. Fought away and stripped away by Monte Nicholson. Michigan State on top of Oregon. 2nd down and 8. Cook throwing over the middle. Got his man. 1st down and touchdown. Aaron Burbridge. Play. Now Freeman tries to go over the top, and he is denied. It'll be in the backfield with Adams. Vernon sending Marshall in motion. The give is to Freeman. Freeman pushing to the goal line. Michigan State thinks they stopped him, and they did. Now Adams uses his right arm and tries to put in the seam, and he's picked off for the 2nd time tonight. R.J. Williams, and that is the mistake you were just talking about. Cook. This time it is intercepted. He tempted fate a couple of times. That might have been a miscommunication, and it's picked up. Western Michigan, he's been better tonight. 12-17. Another good punt from Hartbarger. Braylon Addison looking for the edge. Addison's got some room, and he's got a blocker. Addison turning on the Jets inside the 30. High-stepping Addison into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks. They'll go to the ground. L.J. Scott. Scott looking for the corner. L.J. Scott. Touchdown, Michigan State. Doesn't need a touchdown, just a 1st down on this one. Adams firing out for Addison, and it is a strike incomplete and a 1st down. Well, how big does that look about now? Adams going to keep it himself. Vernon Adams into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. Just short of the 1st down on the last carry. He gets it this time and runs through another one. Scott inside the 20. Scott on his way. Will they get there? Touchdown, Michigan State. Adams stepping up. Adams firing. Short hops and incomplete. Spartans take over.
Of Oregon having a chance to win the game with about 40 seconds left, and the QB overthrew him. I think it was his first ever top 10 matchup start. It wasn't Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota graduated the year before. First top 10 game, just completely overthrew him. Oregon fans at that moment, their heart probably sunk. Michigan State fans over here on the other side are going crazy. They just won the first top 10 matchup in East Lansing since 1966. So just like that, Michigan State's off to a 2-0 start, and they're now the number 2 team in the country. Then they head over to Air Force. They beat Air Force. Then they beat Central Michigan University. Then this is where this gets interesting. Then they're in East Lansing. They're playing Purdue. They go up 21-0. The 21-0 lead stays for the first 3 quarters of the football game. Then comes the fourth quarter, and here come the Boilermakers. Boilermakers make a run. They make a legitimate run. They score 21 straight within 5 minutes. They scored 21 straight in 5 minutes. They couldn't get the game done, couldn't complete the comeback. Michigan State ended up winning 24-21 with a field goal. But just crazy. To even escape, you're now the number 2 team in the country. To blow a 21-0 lead in 5 minutes of football is hard to do. So at that point, everyone had their doubters. Michigan State dropped in the rankings. Next up, they've got Rutgers. Rutgers, not an impressive team. Weren't really good. Greg Schiano was still not even head coach yet. Weren't a good team. Well, they only beat Rutgers by 7. And what did it take for them to beat Rutgers? LJ Scott with the last second touchdown with 30 seconds left to beat Rutgers.
Game in a 7-0 contest. There's Carew in the back of the end zone for a score to tie things up at 7. Not long after, it's more from Chris Laviano, a deep ball. Carew grabs it. That's 2 touchdowns in under 2 minutes, and Rutgers has an early lead, 14-7. Second quarter, Connor Cook gets picked on by getting picked off. Beautiful grab, Kai Hester in the back of the end zone. Look at it again. He just 6 minutes left in the third. More Spartans. Connor Cook had a big day passing. Big play right there to DeAnthony Arnett. Spartans are up by 10, but this game's nowhere near done. Under a minute to go in the third, Chris Laviano on a 1st and 10 looks for guess who once more, Leonte Carew. His 3rd touchdown of the game, and Rutgers is within 3. Scott, with under a minute to play, 49 seconds to be precise, gets into the end zone to give the Spartans the lead and the win, right? Will hold everything. With 21 seconds left, Rutgers is driving. At the 40-yard line on a 3rd and 10, Laviano gets sacked. The clock is ticking. And remember, this is 4th down. But Laviano somehow forgets it's 4th down and only looks at the clock, which is ticking down and down and down. And with 4 seconds left, he spikes it.
If you're already here, you're like, wow, beat Oregon off of a lucky overthrow. Almost lost to Purdue. Almost lost to Rutgers. Now they're headed into Michigan. They're in Ann Arbor. Roll the clip. Great game. Until Michigan's punter decided.
Michigan State is an outstanding team. It has been for a long time. O'Neill's been terrific. Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State. Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable. Terrific with the rugby-style punts.
Michigan punter decided to start the downfall of the Jim Harbaugh era a little quicker than Michigan fans would have liked. So they escape number 14 Michigan and leave Ann Arbor with a win. They're leaving the big house feeling great. Then they beat down Indiana. They're racking with the momentum. 52-26. Here comes the controversy, and this is what makes them a dark horse. They end up losing to the Cornhuskers. The Nebraska Cornhuskers team wasn't good. Was a crazy game. Nebraska marched down the field with about 90 seconds left to win the game. Connor Cook broke the Michigan State touchdown record that game. MSU was up 12 with 2 minutes left. MSU thought they won the game. Dropped the interception to win the game. Brendan Riley runs out of bounds. Refs say he was pushed out of bounds. Catches a touchdown pass. Nebraska goes on to win the game 39-38. Michigan State had a chance the last second drive. Couldn't get it out or even kick the long-term field goal because Connor Cook got lost in the pocket. Now that just that one loss to Nebraska, how bad was it? They dropped from number 4 in the rankings to number 14. At this point, everyone's counting them out. They're not going to the college football playoff. you know, they basically already scrummed their chances. Year 2 of the college football playoff, Michigan State's not going. Then they stop Maryland 24-7. This is another interesting one. Talk about luck. The week they're playing Ohio State in the Big Shoe. Is that what they call it? The Big Shoe? Is that Ann Arbor? I don't know. Against number 3 Ohio State. Ezekiel Elliott didn't come out until after the game. He was crying pregame. No one knew why. His parents told you why after the game. Zeke was in the hospital that whole week fighting the flu. Zeke only had 12 carries that game. Zeke was a huge part of Ohio State's success to that era. Well, Michigan State also didn't have starting quarterback Connor Cook. This was a dogfight. 2 piss-poor offenses. Without Zeke, Ohio State's offense looked lost. Without Connor Cook, Michigan State's offense looked lost. They ended up kicking a game-winning kick as time expired. They won 17-14 and had Urban Meyer's first loss in Ohio Stadium in his career at Ohio State in the Big Ten. Next up, they're headed to Penn State. They absolutely throttle Penn State 55-16. Just throttled them. Just wasn't close. Penn State never stood a chance. Now they're headed to the Big Ten Championship game against who? They're not ranked number 5 in the country. You know, they proved themselves. They're back in the college football playoff conversation. They're in the Big Ten Championship game against the team currently sitting in the number 4 seed for the college football playoff. And who was that? Iowa. The Iowa Hawkeyes were the number 4 team in the country. Iowa's starting running back gets hurt in the first quarter. Goes down. There was a crazy interception. I'm sure he's playing the highlight for you right now because our editor's just that legit. There's this crazy interception for Michigan State that held Iowa from scoring a touchdown. LJ Scott ends up getting the game-winning touchdown. And just like that, Iowa is eliminated from the college football playoff, and Michigan State is headed to the college football playoff. Michigan State ends up getting absolutely cursed on by Alabama, 38-0. Right? But it's still cool to see a team like Michigan State make the playoff every once in a while. I mean, we probably won't see Michigan State in the playoff for a long time. Right? Mark D'Antoni's gone. They've now got Mel Tucker. Probably won't see him in the playoff for a while. But I mean, speaking that we were just talking about Iowa State being a dark horse, it would be so cool to see a team that you never see in those big-time games in a big-time game in the year 2021. College football needs it. Is it going to be Michigan State? No. Is it for sure going to be Iowa State? No. But we need, desperately need one of those teams that we're not expecting to make the college football playoff and compete. Sadly, Michigan State could not compete against Alabama. Probably due to them being arguably the luckiest team of all time. After you've watched these highlights, I think you'll realize how crazy their season really was. But that Michigan State team, man, they had Connor Cook, which is the most successful Michigan State quarterback of all time over Kirk Cousins. They had LJ Scott, who was a true freshman who ended up being an absolute beast for them. They had Aaron Burbridge. Aaron Burbridge actually as well broke record, had the most catches in Michigan State history, was insane. Run some of his highlights because that dude was crazy good. Just what a 3-year span for Michigan State. 2 straight New Year's Six Bowl wins, going to the college football playoff. I had to do this video in honor of how crazy the season was. It took a lot of work for this video. Okay, there's not a single montage. Every highlight that you're going to see in this game, us breaking down the season, is going to be the best 2015 Michigan State montage you're ever going to find on the internet. I had to go individually watch the highlights or the full game of each game. Because this was a video I think y'all needed. I think people needed to realize this season, like I'm always the guy that's like, luck doesn't exist. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But this team is the definition of lucky. From the blocked kick, to Zeke being in the hospital with the flu, to the interception that landed on the player's back against Iowa in the championship game, to almost blowing a 21-0 lead to Purdue, to needing a last-second touchdown to beat Rutgers. This team was it was insane. Obviously, playoff didn't go well for them. But it was still a dark horse team, to a certain extent, making the playoff. That's what we need in college football in 2021. All right. If you watch YouTube enough, you know what I'm about to say. as always, y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed. This means I love you in sign language. I truly do love all y'all. Like I said, I was going to drop some words of wisdom every time at the end of each video, and my words of wisdom for you today would be, be you, do you? I feel like I said it one a lot, but I don't, no one, bro, you're one of a kind. Believe that you're one of a kind, and be different. Like, nobody got to the greatest heights in the world by being like everybody else. Nobody. Not a single person. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. Y'all be smart. I love y'all. I can't wait to see y'all in the next YouTube video. I'm out.